guys, and welcome to my new YouTube channel. This channel will be entirely dedicated to anime. Yes, you heard me right. Anime. I've been a big anime fan for quite a long time, and I thought it would be fun to share my opinions and tastes with other people, around the world. If you're interested, you can check out my MAL or my anime list, whatever you guys call it, and take a look at the anime that I've watched so far. It's not that big of a list, I have only watched 210 anime so far, but hey, it's something, right? Now, on to the video. Now bear with me guys, this list that I'm gonna propose right now is only my personal opinion, based on my experience, and it should not be taken as any sort of reference. It's just my opinion, okay? Don't bash me in the comments. Since we are halfway of the spring season, I decided it would be best to jump right into the upcoming anime for the summer season. Basically, this will be one of the new series where I'll be highlighting upcoming shows, whether it is a new season from an anime that is still airing, or if it is a new anime coming out, and give you my thoughts about it based on my experience, my general opinion, or based on the reading material if it is an adaptation of a manga, light novels, etc. Bear with me though, that due to recent events happening around the world, as you may know, there has been a lot of anime being postponed, and the current anime I'll be mentioning on the list may be subject to be postponed. So to start off this list, we have the second season of Re:Zero Kara hajimeru isekai seikatsu. I'm currently learning the Japanese language, so I'm sorry for butchering the pronunciation. Don't judge me, okay? I'm sure most of you know by now about Re:Zero. The first season aired in the summer of 2016, so it was time to bring back the series. I mean, who wouldn't be excited to see our beloved waifus in action? But anyways, for those of you who have never heard of it, the first season starts off with Subaru, a young teenage boy from our modern days that is suddenly transported into a fantasy world. Soon after his arrival, he gets attacked by thugs. Thankfully, a girl named Emilia, who has been pursuing the one who stole her insignia, finds him in such a dire situation and saves him. Feeling that he should somehow thank her, he decides to repay the favor by helping her search for her insignia. After a lot of search, they finally were able to find the location of her stolen belonging. However, in the attempt of getting it back, they are murdered. Yes, you heard me right. The main character is literally murdered. And that's the end, guys. No, I'm just kidding. Subaru awakens once again in the same situation he was in the beginning, being face to face with the thugs and meeting Emilia all over again as if nothing ever happened. Very interesting premise, honestly, and I totally recommend for those of you who have yet to see Re:Zero, while the second season doesn't start. Next up is obviously Sword Art Online, the second part of the third season? I mean, I don't know, it's quite confusing, but literally it's the second core of the second part of the third season. I'm pretty sure everyone knows about SAO, and even though I have mixed feelings about it, in which I'll leave it for another video, I actually kind of enjoy the third season, which by the way, it was intended to be airing at the end of April, which then has been postponed to July, so yeah, if you haven't watched it, you have a lot of content to watch from the first season until now. Another exciting anime I'm looking forward to is the third season of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? So in short, the first season starts off with a young man named Bell. He has this dream of becoming a great adventurer, and for that, a goddess named Hestia will help him achieve that. By the way, she's quite fond of him. You have some weird scenes, especially in the beginning, where she truly likes the dude. I mean, goddess with beak. Well, anyways, living in a city called Orario, Jesus, these names are really hard to pronounce. He begins his quest by exploring the catacombs beneath the city, which are filled with dangerous creatures. I don't know about you, but I watched both seasons and the movie, and it was pretty good anime, especially the first season. There are a lot of interesting characters. The lore expands itself without, overcomplicating things. Every character has their own little story behind it, which is well explained too, in my opinion. There's also a lot of comedy involved, you should definitely check out the first 2 seasons and the movie. So another one that I totally recommend to you guys. So next up we have kanojo Okarishimasu, or Rent a Girlfriend. I mean, according to Google Translate, it is I'll take care of you. I don't know, it's Rent a Girlfriend, okay? So, dumped by his girlfriend, emotionally shattered college student Kazuya Kinoshita attempts to appease the void in his heart through a rental girlfriend from a mobile app. At first, Chizuru Mizuhara seems to be the perfect girl with everything he could possibly ask for: great looks and a cute, caring personality. Upon seeing mixed opinions on her profile and still tormented by his previous by his previous relationship, Kazuya believes that Chizuru is just playing around with the hearts of men and leaves her a negative rating. Angry at her client's disrespect towards her, Chizuru reveals her true nature: sassy and temperamental, the complete opposite of Kazuya's first impression. At that very moment, Kazuya receives news of his grandmother's collapse and is forced to bring Chizuru along with him to the hospital. Although it turns out to be nothing serious, his grandmother is ecstatic that Kazuya has finally found a serious girlfriend, which had always been her wish. Unable to tell her the truth, Kazuya and Chizuru are forced into a fake relationship, acting as if they are truly lovers. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of romance anime, but damn, the trailer seemed quite appealing, and it's a shonen, so yeah, I'm definitely checking this one out. I'll be sure to relate to my younger years of high school with girls and whatnot. As for the next anime, we have Mahou Gakuen no Futekiko. I mean, why are anime titles so long these days? What the f? It's called The Misfit of Demon King Academy. History's strongest demon king reincarnates and goes to school with his descendants. Jesus, that's a long title. Why though? Well, according to the Mal synopsis, after 2000 years has passed, the ruthless demon lord has just been reincarnated. But his aptitude at an academy for nurturing candidates for demon lord is inept. Having the capability to destroy humans, elementals and gods, after a long period of countless wars and strife, Arnos, the demon lord, became sick and tired of all that and longed for a peaceful world, so he decided to reincarnate to the future. However, what awaited him after his reincarnation is a world too used to peace that his descendants became too weak due to a huge awakening in magical powers. I mean, this anime was apparently already delayed, as it was supposed to air sometime around March. But since I'm a big fan of Demon School related anime, looking at you, High School DD, I'm kind of looking forward to it. Nevertheless, the art style gives me vibes of a certain anime that aired in December. Yeah. But anyways, next up we have Deca-dence. Oh my god, this one is quite short. This title is actually quite short. I cannot believe this. The story goes around in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity was wiped out by life forms called Gadol. Those who survived now live in a high mobile fortress called Deca-dence. The citizens of Deca-dence are divided into two categories: gears, warriors who fight the Gadol, and tankers, those without the skills to fight. One day, Natsume, a tanker girl who dreams of becoming a gear, meets up with Kaburagi, an armor repairman of Deca-dence. The two embark on an adventure in order to change the world, even though they have quite the opposite points of view about life and mentality. I mean, post-apocalyptic anime in general are quite interesting, even though it's not a new premise or anything. Looking at the trailer, it seems that the story is set in what looks to be in a futuristic era. We see these characters using a lot of mecha, and that for me, folks, is something I'm looking forward to. And by the way, the animation studio responsible is Nut Studio, in which anime such as Yosho Senki, FLCL Alternative were made. After all this time, we finally get to see more work from them. And I think we should expect a lot of neat art style and animation. Alright, next up we have a potential guilty pleasure of mine for anime, which is called Peter Grill to Kenja no Jikan, in which the English translation is Peter Grill and the Philosopher's Stone? Okay. Well, quite weird. So Peter Grill is known to be the strongest fighter. He has a girlfriend who he's steadily trying to get closer with, and life is good for him, until he realizes that dozens of women who want to bear strong children are all vying for his seed. So yeah, if you go and check out the manga, it is a harem comedy, ecchi fantasy type of anime, you know. So reading the story plot, there's probably nothing going on. If you guys check out the trailer, you'll see a lot of comedy scenes, and for me, even though, you know, there's a lot of ecchi harem stuff going on, having comedy mixed up in it makes it worth to watch, in my opinion, at least for the type of anime that I like as a guilty pleasure in general. So yeah, I'm totally checking this out, and if it sucks, well then screw it, I'm gonna have to drop it, right? Next up, we have Gibiate. So this is a new anime. It is not an adaptation of any reading material, and basically it starts off in 2030 in Japan, a virus that has spread around the world and turned people into monsters based on age, sex, and race. While two samurai then fight together, along with the help of a doctor who tries to find a cure for the virus named Gibiate, or Gibiate, I'm not sure. Now, this anime is a brand new one, like I said, there's no reading material. And when I first saw the trailer, it reminded me of a classic anime called Rurouni Kenshin. I don't know if you guys heard of it. You know, for the art style. Kind of reminds me of that sharpness and old-looking art style. But of course, this one has a more fantasy aspect to it, like monster slaying and whatnot. So the animation seems pretty solid, so I'm looking forward to it. I'll definitely check it out. Alright, next up, we have Assault Lily Bouquet. So we have another anime where humanity is being threatened by creatures. This time around they are called huge. So much for originality, huh? Humans invented a weapon to fight these monsters called charm, which is best used by teenage girls, who then are called lilies. These teenagers receive intense military training in academies called gardens. Might be a potential guilty pleasure for me, since I love goes around girls fighting off monsters in a school type of environment. So it's right up my alley. But honestly, I don't know. I mean, these type of anime, sometimes they tend to have such mediocre plots and nothing interesting happens. Plus the characters, since there's loads of them, there might be a huge probability that they will be bland. So, and I don't know, it's a gamble, but it does remind me of certain anime that really were below par, and I just hope it goes a different path. They do seem to have a lot of stuff going on between them. So yeah, looking forward to it. And finally on our list, we have Monster Musumo No Oishasan. Oishasan? Oishasan, no Oishasan. Jesus, it's very hard to pronounce it. If you have heard of Monster Musume, you know what it is about. Though it is not a continuity to the Monster Musume that aired a few years ago. Sadly. In the town of Lindworm, where monsters and humans coexist, Dr. Glenn runs an exemplary medical clinic for monster girls with his Lamia assistant, Safi. Whether receiving a marriage proposal by a centaur injured in battle, palpating the injury of a mermaid, or suturing the delicate wounds of a flesh golem, Dr. Glenn performs his job with grace and confidence. But when an unsavory character seeks to steal a harpy egg, how will the unflappable Dr. Glenn respond? Again, I loved Monster Musume back in the day. It is one of those anime that has a lot of ecchi references and comedy mixed up. And for me, it made an impact back when I saw it for the first time. It was really fun to watch, and I think that this one will have the same type of environment, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And also, I'm probably sure that those anime fans that are horny bastards will also enjoy it. And that's about it. I mean, Haikyuu to the top second season and Warlords of Zigdrifa have also been recently postponed, so they won't be covered in the video. And the following anime are just such shows that I have not seen the first season yet, so of course I won't discuss about it since I don't know anything from it. Or they are anime that I simply just don't care because they are not my type, whether it is music type of anime or sports. But hey, I'm not saying that they are bad, okay? It's just not my type of thing. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my first ever video on the channel. I'll be covering a lot of anime content in the future, whether it is reviews, discussions, possible news, and all sorts of type of content. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, don't forget to watch your daily dose of anime because it's good for your brain and heart. Take care and see you on the next video.